Welcome to my daily recap of Beyond the Gates. So my BTG daily recaps. It's for Thursday, September the 6th, not September the 6th, March the 6th, 2025. It better not be September already, y'all. Anyway, it was so. One thing we got to see way too much of was Martin. Martin and Smitty. The way he's so dismissive of Smitty. Oh, I see. Either Smitty's already having an affair or he's definitely going to. Because Martin let him know he overheard Smitty talking to his mother and telling her that, he was planning on going back to work as a reporter. And he says, well, I still was going to talk to you about it first, talk to you about it before I did it. And he goes, oh, yeah, but you decided you could talk to my mother first about it. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. You sat there, Martin, and told your mother you wanted to run for president. Does Smitty know anything about that? No. So Smitty says, oh, so that's why you gave me the silent treatment all last night, right? At least you're talking to me because when Martin came downstairs or from around the corner, Smitty was on the computer at the table and he goes, you're filling out your resumes? And Smitty turned and he looked at him and he said, no, I'm working on this, you know, congressional release that you wanted me to go over. And Martin looked at him. Oh, I forgot I asked you to do that. No, sorry for my crappy comment, honey, babe, dear. No. Oh, I forgot I asked you to do that. And that's when he told, he overheard what he said. And so Smitty says, I I definitely am. I do want to go back to work. The kids are teenagers now. They're living in they have their own friends, their own circles. I need something more than ushering kids around, cooking dinner, and doing laundry. I'm ready to get back to work. And so Martin says, well, I disagree. I don't want you to go back to work. It doesn't fit in the optics of our marriage. And Smitty looked at him and said, what do you mean the optics? It doesn't fit the goal, fit the plan. And so Smitty said, no, you mean your plan. He says, Martin, oh, I agreed. He goes, no, you need to stick to what you agreed to. You agreed to raise our children, and you're not finished raising them. That works for our optics. And he goes, and also what'll work for the optics, most couples, most families have two people working. That will also work on the optics, right? And he says, you know what, Martin? I did not agree to put my life on hold forever. He says, no, but this is you staying home it works for our goals. And he goes, no, it's not our goals. That's your goals, Martin. And he goes, what? He goes, that's your goal. It's not our goals. And so Martin says, you know what? He tells him, Martin has the nerve to tell Smitty, what about what I need? And when he said that, I'm like, wait, about what you need, you getting what you need. And Smitty looked at him, he says, but I'm telling you, I need more. He says, look, you're going to stick to the optics. We're not changing anything. You're not going back to work. Am I making myself? No, am I understood? And when he said that, I was like, Smitty, you have some balls, even though that's not a bad word, but in the context, and you have some balls. Okay, use them because you let that man know. Let me tell you something. Are you making yourself understood? Do you think you're talking to one of our teenagers? You really think that, Martin? Because let me tell you something. I'm a grown man. Am I making myself understood? And you don't talk to me like that, right? Because see, you'll be making your own dinner from now till kingdom come. You keep this up. You gonna be a congressman because he don't know Martin want to run for president. You will be a single congressman. You keep this up, and then what your optics gonna look like? So Smitty just looks at him and said, "Yes." And I was like, "Oh no, see, man, you'll never win because that man was being completely disrespectful to you and talking down on you like he's superior to you. Mm-mm. This is an equal partnership. This is a marriage. Okay, equal. I can't stand Martin and I can't stand Cat, even though Cat is right. But just that superior attitude, they both feel superior to everyone, right? But so do their mama, because we're Dupree's, right? So now we have Bill and Haley. I thought they had a plane to catch. Wasn't their plane supposed to be the very next morning? They were flying to some exotic place for their honeymoon. Why are they still home? I don't understand that. So Haley's on the phone talking to the other office manager. And she said they're going over, she's telling her, okay, well, all right, what's happening with this case, blah, blah, blah. Bill comes down the stairs and he goes, she should not be disturbing you on your honeymoon. And so Haley says, oh, no, I don't mind. It's a very important case. I don't mind her asking just a couple questions because I guess Haley turned over her caseload. She's a paralegal to the chick, right? The one that was her maid of honor at her wedding. And he goes, but still, Haley, no. Now that you are Mrs. What is his name? Why am I Bill? Mrs. Bill Henderson. Uh, we're going to talk about a change. And she goes, what do you mean a change? He says, honey, you don't need to work anymore. You're married to me. And she goes, I don't need to work anymore. I love working. I love going to the office. He says, yeah, but no, you now need to have time to get involved with social activities and social causes. And she says, wait, what? And he said, so, a wife of mine doesn't need to work. Now, you see, he's already beginning to do to her what he did to Danny. Already, day one of marriage. You don't need to work. Now, most women would think, oh, I want a man to take care of me. But no, he wants to control her. And he goes, this will give you greater independence. She goes, wait, how is that going to give me greater independence when I'm going to, talking in her little whiny voice, but that's going to make me more dependent. I think, girl, you do have half a brain. And he had put this box down. And she goes, what's this? He goes, for you. So she opens it up and it's a black card, right? She goes, a credit card? He says, this credit card has no limit. You will never, ever see a bill. You can buy whatever you like. And she looks at him, well, okay, thank you. Putting her on. I said, yeah, look, he's getting you, girl, hooking you. But your behind ain't gonna be working. And she goes, I love seeing you every day. Don't you want to see me every day now that we're husband and wife at the office? And he goes, sure, honey, but that's not going to be your role. And I'm like, because look, Haley, he's got to scope out the next person that he's going to cheat on you with. And if you're at the office, see, not having lunch with him and he's out having lunch 3 times a week without you, you're going to wonder with who. And if you're in the office still working, you'll know he had no clients on the dockets. So he's going to get you out of there real quick, girl. Real quick. Because remember, the divorce just became final when they announced their wedding like that very next week. The ink barely was dry on the divorce papers when they already had the wedding invitations ready. Okay. So he gonna okey doke you, and I'm gonna love and laugh at every bit of it. So Bill leaves the room. She's looking at her tablet. Oh, what am I gonna spend this thing on? So she's flipping through, and then she sees somebody made this random fan page on Danny. She's like the cowgirl. She's the, sheriff, whatever she is, right? Bad, bad, bad mama jamma. you know. And Danny kind of likes it. She's like, okay, I like that persona. And so Haley, when she saw it, because she was swiping pages and she saw it, she's like, she puts her tablet down, she looks away. And then her ring on her phone, the doorbell, it shows somebody's at the doorbell. So she looks at it. Now, Bill's still in the house. And just like it rang on her phone, it probably rang on his too. Probably rang on his first. Because Bill ain't about to let her have an app for the front door and him not. Because that's just not in his name. I'm surprised he let her have a front door, the access to the app. But anyway, she buzzed the person in. We don't know until she comes walking around the corner and it's Danny. And I just shook my head. And I thought, why are you there? You make yourself look so bad when you do things like this. I just had to come here, Danny said, to finally just rid myself of you and Bill. Like, what kind of sense does that make? You're coming to their house. And she goes, nice place. And then she proceeds to tell Danny off again, right? About how all the hugs, Danny, all the phone calls, all the coming by, all the thank yous. Bill treated you like his daughter. Mm. And all along, you were scared. She goes, it didn't happen that way. She goes, you know what? Don't you speak. And I'm thinking, Danny, don't you speak anymore. Because she's already married and she's married to Bill. So Danny says, I'm here to let you know it's done. I'm not giving you guys a second look. And I'm moving on. And then she goes, but wait, you are going to experience now what it's like to be Mrs. Bill Hamilton. Good luck. And she walks out. And Haley's like, okay, good. She letting it go. Good. So Bill comes around the corner. He goes, was it my horrible imagination or did I hear Danny's voice here? And he goes, yeah, she was here. And he's like, wait, why was she here? She just said she wanted to say her last, her words, and she's moving on. So I think she's moving on. She's done with us. And he's like, Danny Dupree, don't trust her. She's saying that right now. That don't mean she means that. She goes, I mean it, Haley. Stay away from Danny. I think she means it. She's accepting the fact that we're married, Bill. And he's just shaking her head like, honey, baby girl, baby doll, youngin'. She don't mean that. If she meant it, she wouldn't have even come over here. We would just never hear from her ever again, right? If she meant that. That's like, the next day, Danny will show right back up. And another thing, I just want you to, I said, no, she don't mean it. Just like she didn't mean when Andre just popped by and she let him know, you don't just pop by my house. And what happened last night is not going to happen again. He goes, yeah, but you said that the first time. And it did happen again. She goes, well, it's not going to happen again now. Well, guess what was happening at the end of the show? Oh, Danny at the bottom, where I have never seen her smile and look like she was having fun than in that one scene. I played it again. She was dancing. Ooh, she was grooving. She was looking up and I was like, go, Danny, go, Danny. It's your birthday. Go, Danny, right? Danny was just grooving. And and Andre was looking through the window pane, just looking at her like, I think a stalker, goodness. So anyway, she finally looked over and she saw him, but she called him because he was actually invited to sit at the table with Naomi and her husband and what's that nurse's name? And Ashley and her boyfriend Derek. And so he just pulled up a chair and they were all talking. And then he got a text from Danny and he's like, oh, I gotta go, y'all. So he books on out there over to her house. And I thought, at some point, I think she's going to be a fun character to watch when she's finally over that, showing up at somebody's house and begging because she's obviously got definitely more sides to her. She told her daughter, you know what? Now that this whole thing is out of my system, I have more time to just concentrate on you and your career. So it's going to be me and you. And she hugs her. And her daughter, Chelsea, was like, the other side of the hug going like, oh my God, I don't even want to model anymore. What? Right? That's going to be good how she finally breaks that down to her mother. Now, Chelsea has some other things going on. She met this guy, or she was with this guy at the same place that her sister Naomi, well, they were all sitting there, the friends, and Andre joined them. But Chelsea was right across the room. And they're like, oh, who's hitting on Chelsea now? And so Naomi says, it's always somebody. And then it showed Chelsea, she was leaning over, like caressing his face with her hand. And she goes, oh, maybe she's the other way around. Maybe she's hitting on him, right? And they're looking like, oh, and so the fireman said, look, I want to concentrate on the lovely ladies at this table, right? So anyway, Chelsea and him are go talking, and then they come back. And he says, he's talking to her, and she says, well, you know what? I'm getting tired. Or she said something, and he goes, you know what? Would you like to go back to my place? And she's like, finally, I thought you never asked. So they head out the door, everybody. And this woman is getting ready to come in the door. And she steps between Chelsea and the man. And she goes, hi, baby. And he goes, hi, honey. And he kisses her. And he goes, Chelsea's looking and he goes, Chelsea, this is my wife, whatever, right? Swinger. you know, this is my wife, twosome. Okay. So Chelsea looks at her and she looks at Chelsea and they smile, and the three of them leave together. And I thought, oh, so it's like that, Chelsea? You swinging? Oh, you swinging? You twosoming? You. Whoa, girl! I didn't see that coming. What if they're filming you and they put it on internet? I mean, oh, okay. That's going to be a whole nother story because guess what? A little bit that's going to happen. Her indiscretions are going to bite her in the butt. That shocked me. Okay. So now the last thing I have is Cat. Cat is all over Eva. And Nicole walked in, this is the beginning, and she's saying, you know what? Who told my daughter to speak this rude to my assistant? Because Eva's sitting down at the desk at the computer in Nicole's office at the hospital. And so Kat says, look, I already did some research on her. It's mighty interesting. She really has no job history because she was telling this to her dad and then she told it to her mom. She, yeah, did some friends' hair. She's on some salon's calendar doing I mean, not calendar, pictures, photo gallery, doing a couple of heads, but she has no real work history at all. And so Nicole says, are you trying to say I didn't do my due diligence? She says, well, what makes her so qualified to be your assistant? She goes, that's enough, Kat. I know how to vet my people. And so Eva says, look, I'm a beautician. I've done quite a bit of different gigs, you know, I assure you, but like no corporate work, right? So anyway, Kat's just looking and pretty Nicole kind of shoes her out kind of. So Ted leaves, Kat leaves, or Ted leaves, Nicole leaves, Kat leaves. But I think Kat may have left a little first. But Kat was hanging back. She watched Eva come out and she went to like the nurse's desk, the desk there, and I think the head nurse or somebody else may have told her that her access is she's cleared now. She now has access to the doctor's computer, Dr. Richardson's computer. And she goes, thank you very much. So then Eva goes back into the office and we got Kat. She's cat prowling. And Eva logs into doctor's computer and they have the, documentary. And she's like, Mom, it's in the email, check this out. And she uploads the video and she sends it because she heard Ted just swooning over Nicole saying, I can't wait for the world to see you the way I see you. So she sends it to her mother. And I thought, wait a minute, that email is going to have a digital trail. She's also going to have to go into the sent box and delete that she ever even sent that out. Otherwise, it'll just be in that she sent the email to that email address, right? The Dr. Richardson won't know nothing about that email address unless she goes in and deletes the sent folder. So as she's getting ready to push send, Kat walks in the door and says, well, aren't you just making this a habit? What are you doing? Ooh, so tomorrow we're going to see what Eva says, right? We'll see, because Kat ain't no dummy. So that was pretty interesting. And that's pretty much it, everybody. It was an interesting day. We get to see how much of a butthole Martin really is. I can't stand him, right? I even like Playboy Andre more than like Martin. Now, the one thing that tell me, is this ridiculous, everybody? Is this completely ridiculous? Haley looks at Bill and said, Bill, I want to have a party. And he says, what? She goes, this place is too beautiful. We got to show it off, Bill. And he looked at her. She goes, but then nobody would come. Girl, your shotgun wedding wasn't good enough for you? Because the only people that were in there were the people the Dupree's made come and the two other people from the office. Maybe three, but we didn't really see them. And you want to have a party. Who would come? Like she said, but nobody probably would come. She hasn't learned, and she is just gold digger with a capital G and a capital D. Oh, I'm done with Haley. Haley's an idiot. So anyway, let's go to comment corner. Comment corner. Let me pull up these trusty, dusty comments and let me start my. I see how many are there. I don't think there. Quite a bit. Let me see if I can get through them. Sewing Room says, remember, in like episode 2 or 3, Leslie ran it down for us. She told Eva to stick to the story and not call her mom in public. Oh, Leslie's real name is Dana. The story goes that she is Eva's real mother, but Eva is supposed to tell people that Leslie and her husband took her in after Leslie's parents died. They raised her because Eva's mother was Leslie's best friend. Oh, it's all a lie. Leslie, aka Dana, is Ava's real mother. Oh, you know what? I must have fast forwarded through that. Some of you that don't know me from my GH recap, oh, if something is boring me, I will fast forward it like there's no tomorrow. And this is what Comment Corner is all about. I need you all. If there's something in the episode, like even in today's episode, if I missed something I didn't bring up in your comments, talk about it. So people reading your comments will get to see it, because if it doesn't interest me, I'm okay, fast forward. Get out of here with that. Got sick of looking at Leslie and Eva talking. Oof. And then let's see. Denzel says, I ain't surprised the cat was suspicious when she saw Ava searching around the office, and when she was asking Ava what was she looking for, Ava's responded back by saying it was a stapler. I know. I was looking like Ava. That just was a weak lie. That cat isn't buying that at all. It was funny that Cat was roasting Eva's boots, calling it tacky. I was like, Cat ain't had to say all of that. No, she didn't. But Cat was right about one thing. The warning. Her mom warning her mom about Ava. So Nicole better listen to her daughter. That's all I'm saying. For Ava Eva meeting her dad, Ted, I still don't believe that's her daughter. I believe Ted had a twin brother. Or you mean that is his daughter? I believe Ted had a twin brother. Could be. See? Could be the one that died in the plane crash with his wife, Andre's parents. That same twin brother that died in the plane accident along with his wife, that same twin brother had an affair with Nicole from back in the day, because Leslie isn't telling Eva the full truth at all and just telling her mostly lies, in my opinion. Great review, daily recap as always. And then Jay says, Leslie told Eva to say she is not her mother. I won't be surprised to find out Eva was a stolen baby and truly not Leslie's. That's interesting. Leslie seemed crazy enough to steal a baby. Wendy says, Ava is going to regret following her insane motorcycle riding mother That lady is crazy. I'm glad that young lady caught going through her mom's desk, or was caught going through her mom's desk. I hope she looks into her closely. You mean Kat? Yep, that's definitely true. And then we have Just K said Kat may do a background check on Eva if Nicole didn't do it. I don't think Nicole did. Nicole is basing Eva off of Mona, so I doubt she did one. If Eva Thomas is her real name, I know if that is her real name. Lucy says, I'm looking forward to Soap Hopper. John Lindstrom, he plays Dr. Kevin Collins, and Ryan uh, Chamberlain's on GH to debut as the Concito owner, Joey Armstrong, on Beyond the Gates Friday. Wow. Just K says, me too. I'm excited to see him in a different role. Lucy says to Jess K, absolutely. And then Lucy says, regarding Martin and Smitty, a classic case of uh male chauvinistic pig situation. I know. Just K says, I don't like Martin since day 3. The way he speaks to Smitty irks me the most. Daily Recap Lady is right about Nicole's kids are snotty and ungrateful. At least Kat is right about Ava. She is just a butt towards, well, she was just a butt towards Ava because of her style. I don't know how Martin's excuse for being a prick towards Smitty. He doesn't have any excuse. He's an entitled jerk. Lucy says to Jess K, Martin's attitude is quite noticeable. All we can do is tune in next time and try not to get soap in our eyes. Lucy says it's totally uncool to use one's children as weapons and revenge warfare. Just K says Leslie is a master manipulator who doesn't have empathy. That's a dangerous person. Ava is so brainwashed by her mom. The story Eva's telling everyone is what Leslie came up with because Leslie doesn't want anyone to know they are blood related, if that's true. And remember, Leslie's real name is Dana. Also, Leslie hasn't been beyond the gates either. So I think Nicole or Ted know Dana, not Leslie. Yeah, it's plot thickening. This story can go in many directions. I was thrilled to hear Joey's name, aka John Lindstrom, who plays Kevin on GH. Looking forward to seeing him. I don't like Martin at all. He is so dismissive of Smitty. I hate it. Martin seems like a hot head. Black Purple Turquoise says, Ava and Lucy are their own brand of crazy. Kat is right to suspect her. I hope she stays on Ava like white on rice. Looking for a stapler in a desk? Really? I personally do leave my stapler in my desk drawer, but not many people would leave their stapler or any kind of office supplies in the drawer. They'd be free and clear. Wait, they would be free and clear range access on the top of the desk. She really thought she'd buy that? Please. I hope Nicole doesn't fall for her tricks and that she really listens to her daughter. Well, she's not. She obviously has spot on instincts and sees that Ava's behavior is abnormal and something to worry about. I hope they're not setting it up that she's so taken by her and naive until it's too late to see her and Leslie coming. Then something happens to either her cat or Ted. And it all uh, could have quite possibly been avoided if she just listened to what she was being told and actually looked at the information rather than just being critical and dismissive of it and Cat. Yep, that is so true. All right, everybody, that is comment corner. I will be back tomorrow for another daily recap of BTG, Beyond the Gates.